Welcome to ZFG. I'm Krista, and I'm joined today with Freddie Brick and Carson Block. How are you guys?
Exceptionally well.
Very good, thank you. Very good.
No, really, how are you? You don't ever say exceptionally well, ever.
This is the new positive me.
That's disgusting. I don't think I could work with him like that.
I'm not sure you could work.
Oh, yeah. We start with just being so funny right off the bat. So we have a lot to talk about. It's been a couple of weeks. And update on Toshiba. This is Carson's item.
Yeah, well,
Well,
it's not really Toshiba, it's an update on Japan. And this is important because you do have fans in Japan. We found this out. So we heard from a viewer in Japan.
wasn't he a friend of yours?
But I never reached out to him, and
Yeah.
I never ever reached out and said, hey, you should watch this podcast. So he came across it because it's big. It's getting big. So hang on.
It's actually really
so
big.
I need to show you. You are on a billboard in Ginza. Look at this. See that? See, there you go.
No
And
way!
apparently this
Such
says
a jackass.
this says sweet tits on the billboard. But that's not all. That's
the
not all.
nicest thing
Hang on.
ever.
No. It gets even nicer.
What?
Because
Sweet tits.
Suito Titsu. No. But you're also featured on a panty vending machine as well.
Oh, that
Yeah.
is
Now
phenomenal.
you're big time.
Oh,
Wow.
I could retire today and
Yeah,
I'd
you're-
be fine.
You're big time.
I'm big time.
Yep.
Are we going to show these lovely pictures on the screen?
Of course
You're going
we
to have
will.
to send them.
And actually, coming in right now, because it's going to sit proudly in the front while we display all the things,
I
is the
hope
panty
so.
vending machine.
Oh,
Look at that.
so
Yeah.
what am I doing there?
Well,
That's a
you're-
horrible picture.
Promo
That's a horrible picture. That's going to
of the
make me
panty
want
vending machine.
Well, I think-
know. Don't worry, it'll be
no.
much nicer in real
No.
life.
I think this is a picture of you making soiled panties.
He's such an ass. Speaking of, are we done with the Toshiba update?
Well, what do you want to say to all your Japanese fans? You want to say "domo arigato"?
No. I'm
No?
not doing that.
It's okay. A couple weeks ago, she insulted all Asians by admitting she didn't know which one was which in the ugly/attractive fund manager
That's
survey.
right.
So it's cool. We don't mind if we insult
Wait,
Chinese
can you
people.
remind me? Because I don't know what
Do you
you're
not
talking
remember
about.
we had that paper we were discussing, the academic paper on whether attractive fund managers perform better?
Right.
And we showed you pictures of two people
Right.
side by
So
side.
it was
who
a
were
Chinese academic
Yeah.
paper.
Versus.
So, and you said, it looks like the same person side by side, whereas one was
Yeah.
supposed to be attractive, the other was unattractive, and it just showed that.
Wait,
you're,
did you
you're-
show me here?
You're a bigot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually on.
Wow,
bigot.
did you black out straight away afterwards?
No, I mean I remember.
You're like, no, I drove home. I couldn't tell you.
Then I blacked out.
No, I picked up kids first and then I drove home. No. I was productive first. I
Okay.
was gonna say proactive. Anyway, what should we talk about next? That was
That bottom
2 minutes
line
of
item,
fun.
I think that for me is important to discuss.
Leo and his ass butt crack.
Correct. So,
Are we talking about Leo? DiCaprio.
How many other Leos do you know?
I just want for our viewers who aren't familiar with just Leo.
Okay.
Who aren't familiar
So-
with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, can't help you.
Yeah. Well, some of the viewers are obviously Japanese, and I don't know if he's as big there. Probably is because he was in the highest grossing movie.
Not
ever,
as
I
big as
think.
me.
Well, I got to tell you, so Titanic came out, I think, 97 or 98?
Yeah.
And I lived in Asia in summer of 98 and then again in 05. Every single fucking 4 or 5 star hotel lobby I went in Asia, that goddamn theme song was constantly blaring. They know, yeah. It was like, it had me occasionally contemplating suicide.
You know, there's something about that film that I don't know why, I just imagine it really appeals in China. I don't know, the kind of faux romance of the whole thing.
No, but the way it ends, first of all, look, we're in a culture that I think it definitely has a stronger component of chivalry in it than, the cultures of Japan or China.
Yeah.
And even like every dude I ever talked to was like, man, that whole thing about him bobbing up and down in the water, like dying of hypothermia while she sat on the fucking raft, is total bullshit. Like,
Really?
yeah, I mean, like you would switch, right?
Right.
Hey, are you almost dead? Okay, why don't we switch? And like, let's see if we both can live here. So,
I don't know.
so like,
Depends.
I don't know,
on
man,
the-
because in me replaying it over in my mind, I've actually fucking bribed the guy to get on the lifeboat. So like,
Oh, you
guys doing the chivalrous nice thing, and I'm like sitting there dry as a bone, being like, "Oh,
I think
Mary."
you put on a dress and you sneak on.
Dude, in modern day Titanic, that would be a huge fucking.
Oh my God.
What do you identify as?
If you identify as male, step over here to your death.
Let's-
Well, amazingly, I've always identified as female.
Oh, dude, all that looking under the skirts to
They
see if
wouldn't
there's junk under
challenge-
there.
they wouldn't
Oh,
challenge
man,
you.
it'd be
That's
hell
right.
on earth.
Titanic 2023.
Oh, dude, that's-
Woke-tanic 2023.
Titanic. Anyways, this hasn't quite gone where I wanted. So, we were discussing amongst a few of us. There's a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio. He is at a Halloween party, I think. He's dressed as himself, and he's got a new girlfriend who I think, keeping him the kind of style he's sort of become accustomed to, is like 25. And the picture is like them making out outside, and she's
Like in
got-
plain view of paparazzi. So there's
Yeah.
video of this. So they're
Yeah,
making
there's
out
video.
on the
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
balcony.
and she's got her finger in what looks like his butthole. Now, we were discussing this, and there were a variety of opinions on the practice, but no one had as strong as an opinion on you on how much this reviled them.
This,
Well, so yeah, like, we're on this little chat group and, Soren is like, oh, this is awesome.
you
and
were disgusted.
No, I was just like, look, I'm like, this
What?
is why I'm a germaphobe. Because she went inside, and she, and she's putting her like
She went, got
she
another
goes inside.
drink.
She doesn't go and like wash her hands first thing, right? She goes inside, she puts her hands on people's shoulders. She like touches hors d'oeuvres and puts them back and like holds onto the railing. Like, and the whole thing is like, Leo, maybe he's the cool guy.
I'm
I
just
can't
gonna-
speak to it.
I'm
I've
just
never hung
gonna-
out with him. But even if he is, I don't want I don't want to eat his ass, literally, in a fucking hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah.
Like this is why I'm a germaphobe. This is why I believe in like, always like, using antibacterial gel on my hands after I go out and mingle with the general public.
Can't wait till next time we go to a conference and like people are like lining up to shake your hand, and all I'm going to be thinking is, I bet he was plugging some butthole earlier. He's a big podcast fan. He can't wait to plug a butthole and go right
Well,
up.
maybe
to
I'm
you.
more suspicious of the women. I mean, like
True.
what woman would be in here who
see-
wasn't just, fingering some dude's ass?
So you know what the approach to this would save you is if you did what Borat used to do when he would always go up and the guy would put his hand out to shake it and he would go and kiss him on both cheeks. I think that's what you should start doing.
But look, I will admit something. If you said, okay, here are two hors d'oeuvres. One was touched by that woman after she fingered Leo's ass. The other was touched by Leo after he fingered her ass. That one I might eat.
Anyways, so just in case we end up talking about something that's related to marketing later, General Counsel, as you're reviewing this is not typically the way people prep for a marketing thing that they might talk about later. But anyways, carry on.
Yeah, I don't know that it's really that hard to distinguish or, to like see that this is satire. But,
Right. Anyways, but for those of you who've tuned in and are worried that we're not going to talk about finance, we are going to talk about finance today. And
well, everything relates to finance.
yes,
Everything.
I came across a story today that I'm pretty excited about. It wasn't in the Daily Mail. I have branched out and I am also reading the business news from Australia. And the story that caught my eye, Perth-based camel milk producer Good Earth Dairy is a step closer to building a $20 million dedicated dairy processing facility after securing a $4.5 million grant. The company is planning to IPO next year in Australia. And that's going to drive the international expansion plans after they last week launched a bridge funding round via an equity crowdfunding campaign. So this really, for me, just touches on a number of things that I just think are wrong in the world.
Oh, here we go.
So when I go now for a coffee and I'm like, yeah, I'll have a latte and like which milk, I'm just like, cows, like kind of leave me alone. But at some point, we're going to end up beyond just like cow, almond, and like, oh, would you like camel milk? Would you like rat milk? Like all these fucking alternative milks, right? And these guys are pitching themselves as like an alternative to cow's milk, like it's better. Who thinks the camel likes this, right? Like, at what point is the camel like, oh yeah, like it's great being milked? So,
well, I don't think that's the objection a lot of people have to cow milk. It's the objection that a lot of people have is they say that human beings are not well suited to drink cow milk or eat cow dairy byproducts from a digestive system perspective. So that's why they push like goat milk and shit. I mean,
you think we're doing any better with camel?
Dude, I don't agree with them. I think they're a bunch of whack jobs. I think they would take whatever it is that's the number one selling like animal milk product, and they would make this argument that from a biological perspective, we're not suited to drink. I mean, some people are just always going to hate on number one, man. Like,
true.
That's the bottom line.
The other thing that strikes me about this is you can't IPO anything in Australia. So that's just a warning to stay the fuck away from there if you're an investor. And then it also touches upon like this whole crowdfunding thing and like the idea that like venture should be available to everyone and you know that like accessibility for investing and all this shit. Like it really drives me nuts. Like the other week I was at Columbia University talking to a friend's class. And I kind of
stop it.
Yeah, he obviously the other speaker cancelled.
Oh, okay. I was like,
but no, like, and someone asked me a question about like, oh, well, the SEC, what could they do to improve things? And you know, like, it's actually not the easiest question to answer. But one of the things,
well, it's kind of like, you know, how much time do you have?
Right. And one of the things that came up was, you know, like the question around information that professional investors have and how like leveling the playing field is really important for the average investor. And I was like, no, it fucking isn't. And they're like, yeah, it is because, you know, it's really unfair if you guys have access to all this data and blah, 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 and we don't. And I'm like, and this kind of goes to this whole like crowdfunding venture for camel milking. Like the idea that the average investor is sitting at home carefully poring through financial statements,
like you won't even,
diligently
like
thinking
you won't even
about
access
this.
the data in a fucking 10K. Like, don't,
They're fucking
you know,
degenerate gamblers. And like this for me just typifies it that even after like all the euphoria's died down and most people are now aware the venture is not the panacea and the world's greatest asset class and that all this private stuff is crap, they're still pouring money into camel milk investments in Australia. Like,
well, I didn't hear the AI component there, so I think that's a bit of an oversight. There's got to be. I mean, if there's AI involved in this camel milking, like, dude, forget about it. This thing's hot.
This thing's hot.
no.
Well,
but
you certainly are very chatty today.
Hold on.
Is there AI?
We've spent 7 years and $9 million developing IP for camel domestication, husbandry, farm design.
What does that mean? Like,
Hey, you know that finger that was going up Leo's butt?
yeah?
right in the camel's tushy there. Yeah, that's... Oh, man. That's what's going on there.
Oh
So you think that the $9 million they claim to have spent is really just on a camel butt plug
Is that what you're saying?
With an AI component.
with AI?
Quite likely.
Yes. It'll tell you when it can go deeper.
Anyway,
Anyway, moving on. I forgot why we put Sweet Greens hires robots. You know how they're.
Well, because whenever you go there, you get recognized
it
you're
was
known.
just. It was once
by two
And-
people
by two people.
by two people.
who might
two
have
different
actually,
people.
Right, who might have actually been there independent of each other.
Yeah, I think they were.
Yeah.
Walk us through the interaction.
No,
I mean,
I'm
oh,
not
come
gonna
on.
talk. Is that why I put it on?
and like this wasn't even in Ginza, Tokyo. That's the amazing thing.
You guys, jealousy is just ridiculous.
Go on. Tell us about the interaction.
No, I don't.
No,
I thought they was.
Listen, I want to live vicariously through you. I want to experience celebrity
Shut up.
through your eyes. Tell us about it.
No, I'm not telling you guys
Come on,
about
man.
it. I was really excited about it though. I'm not. No, now I can't go there anymore because people are gonna.
Because you'll get mobbed.
Well,
Clearly, I'll get
dude, you're
mobbed.
such a celebrity. On Instagram now, you have all these people reaching out to you who want to pay pig.
Yes.
Right.
By the way, I never knew what PayPig was until.
Neither did we.
Neither did we. Till we.
Is that true?
This is true. So
You
we
swear?
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. Like my non-religious ass swears that until it was 1.5 weeks ago. So we're talking with some other activist short sellers, and we're discussing whether there's potential for a series called Short Sellers Abroad, because some of the activist short sellers are people in the space who we know of who live abroad are pretty fucking straight up depraved individuals. And so one of them,
Depraved, meaning fucked up.
yes,
Yeah. In all
and,
the ways you'd expect.
And so one of them
I
apparently,
know a couple of them.
and we're not going to say which
Of course.
shithole country he resides
Oh.
in, but it's a place where like everything is cheap, and apparently, company that he shorted once funded an investigation firm to do like deep dive social media research, and found this dude on some fetish website where his thing is pay pigging.
We're familiar with it.
So basically, so like I don't get this on multiple levels, right? But basically, what this is he takes hookers on spending sprees, and apparently he doesn't like nail the hookers.
Yeah.
All he does is buy them a bunch of Prada shit. It's like financial humiliation. So
I've been pinged on
yeah, so there are
Instagram.
guys who, so you're
Yeah.
a fucking
And I'm not a
celebrity.
hooker, surprisingly.
But you should do this anyway. Like why
Yeah.
not?
But I was like, and he's like, not for sex or anything
I
like
assume
that.
you've got to be mean about it as well. I assume that's part of the kink to be like, oh, like you're pathetic. You can only get me like the sale rack shit or so. Like I assume there's like a humiliation.
Yeah, maybe
component to it.
like maybe you start the conversation with like, okay, bitch, what's the credit limit on your credit card? No, that's not good enough. You better get it raised, and then
Yeah.
that's me.
Like I assume that's a part of it.
I mean, can't like why wouldn't you do this?
I never knew it was a thing, and I don't think my partner would be happy with me.
Apparently, you
Dude,
don't have to. You don't
just
have to
before
do
holiday
anything.
season.
You mean I don't have to tell her?
Don't tell her.
Dude, you can buy her all her Christmas gifts this
Exactly.
way.
Okay,
get
now we're
these
getting
guys to buy her
smart.
Christmas
Now-
gifts. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like this.
yeah, and don't forget
Because
my
then I
Hanukkah
could buy
present.
for my what?
Yeah, and my Hanukkah present.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, what is that? 8?
Freddie's Titanic dress.
I don't have to buy him one. He already has like a bunch of them.
Yeah. But anyway.
I'm just interested in like what they get at it. Then I was like, oh no thanks. He pursued me more. But this has happened to me before where I'm like, is this a joke? Like what's that all about? I don't want anything. I especially not sex. I'm like, what? What does the guy get out of that?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you going forward with this?
It's one of these rare things where
I'm scared
you
they're gonna
really
be
don't see who loses out
you
in
meet,
the
you
transaction.
meet in the mall. That way, you're not going to get chopped up into little pieces. You know,
No,
just
malls
like,
are pretty empty these
you know.
days. It's
Malls
not the
are
malls
like-
of your youth.
okay, like Rodeo Drive or something. I don't know.
What, Pretty Woman? Wait a minute. Hold on. I need to rethink this. He
You
makes
do.
some valid points. I didn't even know it was a thing.
It's a thing.
I like it.
It's apparently a thing. So, anyway, yeah. But
Guys, contact me on my Instagram, please.
so short sellers abroad, though, I think would have legs.
Yeah.
You know. This is like not the most abnormal fucking dude who's abroad either. Like,
Yeah.
Let's just put
I think
it that
he's of the 4 people we thought would
way.
be
I think we have
candidates.
at least 5.
Okay, the 4 or 5 candidates we thought, I think he was the
Middle of the road.
the like bang in the middle of like strangeness,
Yeah. Yeah.
which doesn't speak highly for the 2 people we rank above. But so anyway, if you are a short seller and you want to come on Short Sellers Abroad and we haven't yet contacted you, please do write in and we can see what we can do.
Dead serious.
Like Cribs, but with pay pigging.
See, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
You have something going. Okay, what else should we talk about? What's next? John Paulson's latest loss due to fraud. That was you.
Oh yeah, this is pretty
Tell
interesting.
us about it.
So there is a suit is it in Puerto
Rico.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a suit in Puerto Rico
Puerto Rico.
between John Paulson and a former business partner of his called Faraz, I think the guy's name.
Farad, I think.
Yeah,
Yes,
Farhad.
yes, I did.
And
I did read it.
basically, Paulson is accusing this guy of skimming left, right, and center.
I mean, north of 50 million
Yeah,
over a period of like 10 years or so.
yeah, and there's a couple things about it that really stuck out. One is, I guess when you're worth a few $1 billion, like people just think they can skim like 50 here and there. It's just like, like he's not gonna notice. It's, it's just a magnitude thing. Like,
Well, the other thing is
happens often.
he started with Paulson as an analyst.
yeah,
And he started
Not as a secretary?
pretty much the same time you started here as an analyst.
yeah. I gotta tell you, if that hadn't happened, you'd have been worth 50 million more. He's called Farhad, I'm called Freddie, so there you go.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah.
I think, though, what's most interesting, so he was having Paulson buy insurance through his, I think the hotels were buying insurance,
So
right?
Paulson has he's got a bunch of hotels down there and some other real estate. And so they have to buy
Puerto Rico.
insurance, especially because of all the hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
So initially, apparently, according to the lawsuit, this guy Farhad goes to the insurance broker and demands a kickback. And so they say, no, we're not giving you a kickback. So then he finds another insurance broker that'll provide him a kickback. And so he directs the insurance policy business there. But ultimately, according to the lawsuit, so this is all allegedly, Sky Farhad gets his brother to come over to Puerto Rico, and his brother sets up like an insurance brokerage. They get the licenses. And according to the lawsuit, I think over like 4 years or something, like Paulson apparently paid $48 million in premiums, including like $5 million in like straight up commissions. So, I mean, if this is remotely true, like obviously this is just this guy fist fucking Paulson with a chainmail glove.
Right.
This is just,
So you're thinking to yourself,
insane.
like, hey, this guy must have been a really slick cat, but what we have is a video of this dude in a, I guess he was in like a local restaurant or something.
I think it was like a restaurant and a hotel
A restaurant, a hotel, and
in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico. And for those of you who are tuned in on video, you'll see it. It'll be playing, and you look at this dude and you think he's not a slick guy. I mean,
No, so he's like
standing up.
just starts dancing on the tables, and somebody comes over and tells him to get down, and he comes
Oh my
down and he
God,
starts
did you
throwing,
you
and
sent
he
this to
like
me.
starts
Yeah.
smashing chairs in the restaurant, and I mean, yeah, like the whole time I'm watching this, and this guy, I'm thinking that this
Let's just
dude
stop
must
that.
be this dude must be thinking to himself, I'm Rick James, bitch.
I love that. We got
So
it.
yeah, so it's I don't know. I kind of feel sorry for John Paulson. Like he did something really good once, and then you came along and really fucked things up for him in a big way, and then
Hey, look, but for John Paulson, we're probably not sitting here at this moment together anyway.
yeah, I'd have fucking gone into venture. You really fucked my life up.
Yeah, you would have been in venture, and I would
Yeah.
have been.
I'd have been IPO in my camel
I would have
milking
been
business.
living. I would have been living overseas, like pay pigging and shit.
And what
on
would
the
I
side, and
do? Just be like some.
You'd
You'd
have
still be working
been-
at some like non-profit.
Yeah, snapping up support girdles, or you could have gone back to the tobacco company.
You'd still have
UST.
You'd still have
United
all your
States
friends
Tobacco.
though.
Yeah,
You still have all
that's
your
true.
all your friends who've abandoned you because of this
That's
show.
true.
So
I know. God damn it.
Anyway,
they're fake
Oh,
friends.
Oh well. What else? What else? Didn't we talk about the Skittles outlawed? Skittles outlawed
we
in
did.
California.
And so has it
it
actually
has actually
been enacted?
been enacted. So my question is, are you all talk or are you making moves?
All right. Well,
So
I mean, if this
for
thing
those,
is, I gotta confirm that
Genuinely?
is
this is
now outlawed
okay.
in
What's
California.
the coloring?
It's the coloring.
Which, yeah, I mean, like, unless you want to have like gray Skittles, I guess the Skittles are outlawed.
Yeah.
So what we need to do when does this go into effect?
I need to do some.
don't know.
some
That's a good
research.
question. Let me have a quick look to see if I can find out.
I have a lot of research to do. First about
we
this.
have to figure this out. So once this is in effect, I want to distribute Skittles in California, and
Of course,
yeah, I just got to think about like what's
first
the
you're
best
going
way
to start with your neighbors.
No,
Yeah.
if I mail them, if I start sending Skittles to schools, they'd think that was really creepy, and they would probably just
Of
throw
course,
them away.
actually, yeah.
So, I'm not sure that gets Skittles into the hands of the people. So what, like seriously, what's the best way?
Right,
for me to
Sour
get
Patch
it?
as well. Fuck.
Wait, what?
So what's the best way for me to distribute Skittles? Like, I'll ship them there, but how do I get them from, like, what's the last mile? How do I handle the last mile there?
Look.
I mean, we do have a couple of people that we know that live in
But
California.
they have
that
to
we've
get
used.
into the hands of kids.
Right.
I mean, it's like,
We do have an analyst that.
Pedophiles.
yeah, I mean, that's the problem, right? Like, I'll go to playgrounds and hand out candy. Yeah, I don't know. That's not going to really accomplish my goal.
Fucking die if you like saw some video of this guy.
It's
Like,
free, I swear.
and the mother be like,
It's
"Where'd
ki-
you get that?"
It's kind of naughty, too, because it's not allowed. Oh, man.
Mom, that guy gave it to me over there. It's friggin' this guy with the Poober sweatshirt on.
Smelly finger.
Because no, a lot of them are actually. There's a place where people smuggle drugs, the butthole. So you.
That's
That's
true, right?
true.
That's right.
Maybe that's what she was doing. Because if
Maybe-
Leo was in
You know
California,
what?
maybe she's just looking for a Skittle.
Maybe I need to
Maybe that's where he keeps his Skittles. Now they're illegal.
Well,
She's just looking
I
for
mean,
a bum.
wouldn't you?
That's right, just like the Pez dispenser right there. But,
Hold on. I'm in the mood for some Skittles. You got any?
man, yeah, maybe I got to go visit El Chapo in prison and be like, bro, like, how do I do this? How do I handle the last mile here?
Do you think he takes visitors, or I mean, is he in like such a secure prison?
Well, I'm sure
that
he's
you-
in a supermax,
Yeah.
but that's an open question as to whether supermax can get visitors. I mean,
I assume yes is the answer, right? Like, I feel like it's probably a basic.
when we were going through our thing, you didn't look up, didn't try to figure that out, or
Bro, Otis Phil, like, come on, I imagine myself playing tennis with Michael Milken, like, look how well he's done ever since. So there you go. All you have to do is feign being ill, and you're good to go. Oh no, that was the guy who feigned being ill was the Lockerbie bomber, right? Who like claimed
Oh,
he-
to
yeah.
get back to Libya.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the UK government was in on that
The,
too.
the,
so-
the irony, like, to go back to Libya, like
Right.
he was doing well. He was in a fucking prison, like, and they're like, well, you get to go back to Libya. He's like, actually,
I'll stay in prison.
I'm way better now. I'm way fucking better.
The food's better.
The next item,
I'm just thinking of that party, that the first party he goes to where there's all the hors d'oeuvres and left hand, right hand. Oh shit!
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I imagine like prison has a similar problem with the hors d'oeuvres as a party with Leo DiCaprio. Like,
True.
you know.
you
Very true.
imagine 100%, definitely.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I'm just.
Thanks for clarification.
The next item, Bari Reese on TikTok talking about Gen Z.
Is it Barry Weiss?
Honestly, with her, it could be Barry White for all we know.
I thought that's what you.
Yeah, so I was reading a piece on her website. What's the thing she is part of now called? It's pretty
The
good.
Free Press?
The Free
Free
Press.
Press.
Yeah.
And there were like some really interesting statistics on.
You know, it's weird. Like, I stopped getting the emails from them. Did they just like not renew my subscription automatically? I mean, sorry, this just like jogs this because it's been a long time
I might
since
have
I've gotten anything.
I think I subscribed twice actually. It's kind of weird to subscribe to it. So they need to
Yes, there's
fix
something.
I
that.
think it's time for a fuck
It's
up,
a
Kate.
scam.
No.
And
And her podcast is called Honestly, by the
oh
way.
yeah, that's good too.
I didn't know you were such a fan of hers.
Moderate. Some of the stuff, look, some of the stuff that she writes makes sense to me and I agree with. Other things, it's like there's, you know, she has her own clear ideological agenda, despite claiming to be, you know, to have started the Free Press in response to ideological agendas.
Right.
You definitely see in certain cases with her, there's a real agenda. So, you know, you just gotta like take it all with a grain
Grain
of
of
salt.
salt.
Yeah, so the piece was just like talking about the news, and what was really frightening was they had surveyed, or she'd taken some survey data from somewhere about how much Gen Z are just completely skipping over news media that basically our generation, so whether it's the FT, the Journal, the New York Times,
Listen,
whatever the
the vast majority of people in our generations are not reading the FT
Daily
or
Mail.
Wall Street Journal. Yeah,
but,
I mean,
but I mean, what was interesting is like they just get their news straight from TikTok, which is really
good.
fucking frightening when you consider that is a Chinese propaganda machine.
Sure.
Like, there's bias on both sides of the media, and we can all critique whose agenda, whatever, but there's an editorial process to some degree, better or worse. The fact that like American kids are just getting their information straight from TikTok, and then there was stats on what percentage of like time per day was spent on TikTok by the average teenager, and it was fucking mind-blowing. And you look back to Trump's attempts to like kind of, you know, put a stop to that by making them sell it to Oracle. Like, if anything's going to put a stop to a business, it's being sold to Oracle. Like, bar none, that is the greatest way to do it. And you're just like, fuck, like, where did that go? Like, why didn't we do that? That was such a fucking obvious win to stop it.
well, I mean, there's always a question as to how serious Trump was about the, you know, at times. I mean, he certainly talked.
Yeah, what was
he
his
always
agenda?
talked the talk about
Right.
China. You know, how often he walked the walk
Mm-hmm.
was a different matter. So yeah, but the other thing is, it's controversial because you do have so many, like, you have so many Americans who have no idea. Like, they're so checked out. They don't get what China is doing. They don't understand that TikTok at times is like a massive psyop on behalf of the Chinese Communist Party. So, yeah, I don't know. I think there was some political risk. Some states, I think 2 states have banned it for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I mean, I have a feeling this is unconstitutional, and I don't know what's happened to the court challenges, and if the bans have been stayed or what have you. But yeah, I mean, look, it's a real problem, but at the end of the day, I mean, like so many other issues going on in society, it's like, we have to make more of an effort to actually educate ourselves, and so. The Gen Z looks at TikTok, our generations look at Facebook and Twitter and
Instagram.
And look, the New York Times is fucked up.
Krista
now.
looks at radio. She's like, oh, there's some bad shit on those airwaves. I joke. It's
At the end
black
of
and
the
white
day-
TV for you.
At the end of the day,
devil's
look,
work.
the only reliable English language news source is really this show.
Clearly.
Just have to face it.
Yeah.
That's true. And with that, the world ends. What's next up on the agenda, KD?
Talking about a company called SafeMoon. The SEC charges crypto company SafeMoon and its executive team for fraud.
Oh, yeah. So this came out today. There was this crypto coin called SafeMoon, and there were a few things about it that stuck out to me. Once again, the only use for crypto was to take money from the stupid and put it into the pockets of
Just slightly
people.
less stupid.
Exactly. Included in the charge sheet, obviously, so part of the scam was they were going to take the coins and put them in like a special area where no one could sell them, a vault or whatever one calls that, like an escrow wallet or something. And shockingly, the people who controlled or created the currency were able to access that. And they took the crypto and they spent it on things like McLarens, shockingly. And what's interesting about this is Dave Portnoy was like an ambassador of some sorts, and there's this great clip of him
Nice.
in 2021.
We're
at the
gonna
height-
play it.
Yeah, at the height of his like, whoa, like listen to me,
Day trading
Yeah.
global.
I'm
Yeah.
picking Scrabble things out of a bag, and just the complete Pied Piper. And what's great about it is about 2 minutes in, he's just like, yeah, maybe this Ponzi scheme.
It was
And
great.
it just keeps going. I'm just like, that guy.
And then he
isn't
kept
a
on saying Ponzi scheme. Ponzi.
He keeps saying Ponzi scheme.
like, just,
I'm just like, this guy wasn't as stupid as everyone thought. Like, he knew
Dude,
what was going on the whole time.
Far from
oh
stupid.
my God.
Yeah.
Far
I,
from stupid.
I really like him and want him on this show. So if you're watching, if you're a fan,
Which I'm sure he's not, but yeah.
whatever, I'm going to reach out.
Well, if he ever hits you up on Instagram,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that dude
That
can
would be
afford
my
to
dream.
pig you hard in, like, any city of your choosing. I mean, I think he sold Barstool Sports, what, a couple $100 or
Did he?
more?
When?
then he just bought it back for like, what, $1?
Because
or
he,
something?
right, because he, and it was like, oh, why'd you do it? It's like, because I can, because
Right.
that's a nicer end to the story. Like, I get to buy it back for $1. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you are watching and
I just think he's great.
interesting.
Well,
I do. I do.
I'm not going to go
think
with
he's
like he's the
fabulous.
world's greatest
He's
humanist.
awesome.
Oh, I know why you like him. It's that video, right?
No, I bet you haven't seen
Oh,
the video.
yeah.
That video is a little,
Right at the
a
end.
little,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're not going to
video?
be able to show it on the podcast, but we'll
No.
show you later. I think you've seen it, and I think
So-
you're playing.
So yeah, the guy is into some pretty rough sex,
Yeah.
right? So
I bet he pay pigs
So-
super rough as well.
he shot this video and he did, I don't know, he sent it around or
Is this
basically-
No,
bullshit?
this is true.
No, this is just like it went viral. He's just nailing some chick. She's on her stomach.
How old is this guy? In his 40s?
She's got a leash. She's got a collar on. He's got the leash, and he's like, as he's nailing, like he's pulling pretty hard. And he's like spitting in her face as he's doing it.
No
Like
effing
right at the
way.
end, yeah. And you're like,
at,
whoa.
at the end. And,
I mean, some people are into that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that they're.
Was she into it?
I'm not sure that they're into it. And
Why
then
were
having,
they doing a video?
Right. I'm not sure that they're into it and then having the
This is
video sent all around the fucking internet without the face being, you know, like in any way disguised. So, like, yeah, he.
Oh, so he got caught?
Oh,
doing
dude, don't,
this?
Krista.
No, it was clearly he was the one who put the video out.
You need to get
or he
some
sent- he
ground
must have
rules
sent- He
if
must
you're
have
gonna-
sent it to some people, like, oh, look what I just did.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was one of those things where it's
Ruined
like,
him for me.
If you're gonna pay pig with
you
him,
need to
you
know this
should.
before you go to the mall.
Yeah, you should get your face blurred out if you're gonna have him pay pig.
Because like if he pulls out the leash, if he pulls out the collar and leash,
Don't
and there's
worry,
no
I
dog
know what to
attached to it, yeah, just you know, keep your distance at that point.
I'll keep my distance.
I can so see this happening. Maybe we could film the episode.
So well,
I
and
just like
so
to be in
actually,
the studio.
But
I don't even need to-
Speaking of other kind of, you know, like
He reviews like pizza places now. Have you seen this on
He's
Instagram?
been doing that for a while.
How
Right.
long? I know. I'm like, I'm
Well,
just so.
I think since
I'm like, what is
maybe
this
since the
Instagram?
pandemic, because he started this fund. He was fundraising to try to keep certain restaurants in business during
See,
the pandemic.
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's you know.
I mean, he seems like a decent dude.
Semi speaking to
Okay,
this.
he's a little weird.
You know, like people who are well known and, you know, for not necessarily the best reasons. So somebody asked me recently that somebody we know wants to, like, was trying to reach out to Martin Shkreli. Guy used to run Turing Pharmaceuticals and did some time in prison. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, you know, Shkreli follows me on Twitter. I'll try to DM him. And I DM'd him to make this introduction. And Shkreli's response, is this the same Carson Block that made fun of me in the past? And I was like,
Was this recent?
this just happened. And I was
Like-
huh, when did I make, you know, so like I DM'd him back. I was like, well, I don't know, like we were short Retrofin once back in the day, but not publicly. And I don't know, you know, your comments about, you know, comparing Turing to Toyota, maybe I said something publicly about that. But I was like, I honestly can't think of like
recall.
where, you know where it was? The fucking Fiducies. We went hard at that, dude. Like that, like, cause you know,
Wasn't he in prison then?
yeah, he was, but the thing
he's
is,
out.
Do you think they did a whole screening in
like,
prison?
So like I was at the gym and I'm listening to Wu Tang, and
my
so it's
God.
like Wu Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with comes on, and all of a sudden that's when the light bulb went off, because when Hal Sparks, who was the host,
Yeah.
was talking about Shkreli, I forget what he says, like, you know, something ain't nothing to fuck with. I'm like, oh shit.
That's so funny.
So yeah, okay, you know, we made fun of him pretty hard back in the day. So now I know you
Wow,
like this
what a-
guy. Now you like listening to him. But
I think he's amusing. I listened to his podcast, I think, talking about, I guess he'd just come out and Sam Bankman-Fried, based on everything I've heard about the trial, is going in for a long fucking time. And I think he was doing a podcast maybe like December of last year or something, on what he should expect in prison. It was pretty amusing. And then I haven't watched it, but I've heard there's this like other thing he does where, you know, people will send him like investment opportunities and he'll kind of like model it out and break it out in real time, which, look, he's kind of a scumbag, but he's not an idiot. And so it's like kind of, he's like genuinely not. It's very similar to how I feel about Schneeberger.
I'm not sure.
But, you know, but it's...
Are you sure that guy's not an idiot? Schnee?
Yeah, jury's out. It's kind of interesting. See, like, does these like live models, like, hey, this is like how I approach it. This is how I think about the investment and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd be kind of interested to meet him. It sounds like you have no interest in meeting him.
Well, no,
or-
it sounds like it's like I'm the last person in the world who can arrange the introduction or arrange the meeting. So, yeah.
Nice guy.
He knows who you
Fuck
are,
that
at
up.
least. Yeah.
Well, you know, seems to care that, you know, we went a little hard. I mean,
Yeah.
and I was thinking like, well, you
Does
know, but
anybody
we
like you
but we
guys?
made
Does
fun of
anybody?
we made
Can you-
fun of lots of people there,
know,
but
why do you- can
but
you
I went
say-
down the list of the people we made fun of, and it is like genuinely like a list of pretty bad people, like Elizabeth Holmes, Betsy
Yeah.
DeVos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember.
it's hard to look at that and say like, oh, you know.
Yeah, but none of those people are as bad as Larry Fink. No one walking
That's
the
right.
earth.
That's right. Yeah, we did. That's true. We made fun of Larry Fink there.
Yeah. Interesting. So, I wouldn't think he's like
Joe
that.
Lowe.
Jolo,
fun
still
of
on the
him.
lam.
That's right.
Still
Or
on.
did you eat one?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the
That's
joke.
true. Yeah, I'm just surprised he like would have had the time to sort of sit around or the internet access. I mean,
Well, no, like up until they took his phone away.
Yeah.
Right? Like that was what I think we made fun of him for in the Fiducies, was that he gave this interview to the Wall Street Journal where he talked about how he was running touring from his cell with an illegal or smuggled in cell phone.
Yes.
And it's just like, yeah, and like don't be mad at us for making fun of that. Like, if you're going to be in a cell and run a company with a phone, don't fucking tell the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
Like, that's, definitely don't get mad when people make fun of you for having done that. That's fair game.
Actually, the crazy thing about when he was in prison was there was that Bloomberg journalist, right, who like left her husband for him, or
What?
yeah, I don't want to butcher this because it is important to get it
Yeah.
right, but I think she
Wait a
started
minute.
interviewing him at some point, either maybe during the trial.
What is her name?
And I want to say she like left her husband for him, like when he was inside.
So after Sam Bankman-Fried gets convicted, do you think that Michael Lewis will leave Tabitha Soren to be with Sam?
Dude, I think Michael Lewis has already had his finger in Sam Bankman-Fried arson.
Probably the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the journalist's name?
I
Do you
could so
remember?
see Sam being like, "Hey, Michael, do my fingers smell?" Yeah, so it's been really annoying that they haven't like live broadcast that trial. I guess they don't do that with federal
Court,
trials,
yeah.
and there's been these awesome memes going around like the internet because they have like the sketch artists, and so they show the ones of like Caroline looking like a troll, and then someone's AI this like chiseled looking Sam Bankman-Fried,
Right, yeah.
which is really funny. But the little snippets I've heard of, the prosecution, it just sounds like it's really, really bad for that dude.
Well,
Like,
he's now testifying in
Yes.
his defense, which tells you how badly it's going.
yes. So, no, it'll be interesting to see what he gets, but I don't know, do you have any view on how long he's going to end up inside for?
I mean, it sounds like, north of 25.
Yeah. So, if you're watching and you're part of Sequoia, it's probably three or four fun vintages before you can get back into anything Sam's doing. That's probably the correct way to think about the cadence.
I mean, I just still love that they openly contemplated whether he would become the world's first trillionaire.
Yes.
And one of the partners thought that, yes, he will probably be the world's first trillionaire.
Yes.
Not maybe a fucking trillion years in sentence, but,
Trillion.
Yeah. So, anyways,
That's it for us.
what are you holding there?
Nothing.
Oh, just that.
Just
the
that.
script for the opening, the welcome to ZFG script.
No.
Oh, that thing. Yes,
that
that's good.
lovely gem. We're gonna save that for next time because it's past our due.
For the Christmas special.
Oh.
Okay.
The holiday special.
Sounds good.
It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Don't say that in front of this guy.
He just said Christmas.
Well, I know. I had to correct him.
Look,
'cause
Not
he-
everyone's as sensitive as you, Chris.
Really?
as an atheist, I am in a position to be the ultimate arbiter on this, and Christmas is much cooler than Hanukkah. Just gotta say. Yeah, it is.
I don't know, man.
It is.
You know what? For the theologians of you, next week we will debate that fucking hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Fucking.
Oh yeah.
Fucking.
Anyway,
You can pound your dreidel on the table all you want, but you're gonna lose that debate.
thanks for joining us today. Cheers.